What is up, guys? It's Brandon here. A lot of you, I assume, are watching my channel because you're interested in finance or just earning more income in general. And today I wanted to talk about a few tips for low income earners or people who just don't have a lot of money coming in, because there's a lot of misinformation out there on what you should do, even if you're starting out with a small amount of income, a small salary. There's still many things that you can do to get ahead. So without further ado, let's just dive right into the video. So the first tip that I have for low income earners is just a simple thing. It's opening a checking and savings account. Now you might think that, oh, there's minimums at different banks, or they charge you interest, or they charge you this or that. Banking fees in general. A lot of banks nowadays do not do that, so you don't have to worry about being charged to have your money in an account, or just have to put in a certain amount, like $500 minimum or $1,000 minimum, because a lot of banks nowadays don't even charge you any fees to put your money at their establishment. Now, putting your money in a checking account and a savings account is a much better option than stuffing cash under your mattress, putting cash in your closet, just hoarding basically cash at your place of residence or in your car. It is, believe me, it is much safer in a FDIC insured bank account than it ever will be at your home or in your car. All right, tip number 2, and that is automate your savings. And what I mean by this is every single month when you get paid, or obviously most people get paid twice a month, automate your savings. And what I mean by that is have that certain amount that's going into your bank account, have a percentage of that automatically transferred into another account, another bank account, or an investment account, even better. So what this does is it absolutely ensures, because again, it's automatic, you don't have to manually do this, it ensures that you're going to be saving money each and every month and putting it aside into a completely different space where you're not going to have access to it to spend it. And this is very important, because a lot of people, they get paid and they all of a sudden see that their bank account balance went up by a certain amount, and they're like, whoa, well, I have all this money that I can spend now. But if you just take that money, automate it into a different account, it's out of sight and out of mind. Tip number 3, and that is get a credit card. And this is very controversial to some people because there's so much misinformation floating around out there in the world. I promise you, getting a credit card and using it responsibly is one of the best things that you can do to build your credit. And this is one of the reasons why I say that it is kind of controversial, is because a lot of people, they get a credit card and they have no idea what they're doing with it, and they actually do more harm than good. So getting a credit card can have many perks. First and foremost, you are actively building your credit, and credit is something that follows you throughout your entire life. So your credit score is basically your identity and how good of a measurement of what type of person you are to any type of lender, a bank, personal loan, whatever. Your credit score is basically who you are in a financial world. Now, when you get this credit card, it's very important that you get something that you can afford. So don't get a credit card that has a high yearly fee to be able to operate. Get something, especially if you're a low income earner, get something that's completely free. There are so many free credit cards out there that don't cost you a penny a year and that actually give you rewards. So go out there, find a credit card that's free to use, find a credit card that has good rewards, and then pay it off each and every month. And that's one of the biggest things when you get a credit card, is paying it off each and every month. Do not carry a balance that negatively affects your credit score. and it's just not good for the long run. So to basically sum it up, do not use a credit card to buy things that you cannot afford. You should be able to afford it right now in cash. That's when you know that you can put it on your credit card and pay off the balance each and every month to make sure you're in good standing. All right, tip number 4 is very, very important, as are all these tips, but 4 is one of the most important for visual learners, visual people, and that's creating and sticking to a monthly budget. Now, I personally create a complete budget in Excel each and every month. I go in there manually and I put in, how much I spent on my credit card that month, how much I brought in income from my 9 to 5, how much I brought in income from other businesses that I own and operate, how much income I brought in from the stock market, etc. And then I put my expenses on there. What is my cable? What is my internet? What is my phone? What's my gas, my electricity? What is my mortgage, etc. And I put it in this entire spreadsheet in Excel, and I basically can visualize what am I spending my money on each and every month. So that is one of the biggest things that has helped me over the years, and I know that it will help you if you commit to it and stick to it, because you'll find out things you didn't even know about yourself about what you're spending. You'd be surprised what you can learn about yourself. Did you know that you're spending $120 a month in subscriptions? Did you know that you were spending $500 a month on food just for yourself when you were going out? Did you know that you were spending $250 a month on alcohol at bars? Keeping a budget and sticking with it is one of the best tips I can give you. All right, and the next tip is mind the creep. And you may be wondering, what is this guy talking about? What does he mean by mind the creep? And I'm going to give you the definition of what that means. So basically, a creep is a situation where people's lifestyle or standard of living improves as their discretionary income rises, either through an increase in income or a decrease in cost. As lifestyle creep occurs, and more money is spent on lifestyle, former luxuries are now considered necessities. Now, what does that mean? So, say you're making you just got out of college, you're making $40,000 a year. You might have an apartment with a rent of like $1,000 a month. You might have a car payment of $200 a month on a Toyota Camry, etc. Right? And you go out every so often. Say you do really well and you either move up in your company and get a $20,000 raise, or you transfer to a different company and now you're making $60,000 a year. So that's a $20,000 increase. You're going to be making over $1,500 more a month net. So maybe the apartment that you have now is something like, oh, well, I can move out and move into an apartment uptown in the city, right? And I can afford to spend $500 a month more on it. Or, my car's nice, yeah, the Toyota Camry's nice, but I really want to move up to, that Mercedes. So, okay, well, I'm paying $200 a month now for my Toyota Camry, and then I could technically afford to move up and have a $600 a month payment on a brand new Mercedes. So I'm going to go do that. No, that is called lifestyle creep. And you can see that as the discretionary income rises, so do all your expenses, and you're basically in the same place that you were when you were making $40,000 a year. So this is something that I see that my friends or family completely do. When they start making more money, they start spending more money, and it ends up not being great for them because they're not saving more, they're just spending more, and their lifestyle has creeped up to their income. All right, the last tip is one of the most important tips, and that is killing, absolutely annihilating credit card debt and student loan debt as fast as possible. Both of these things, credit card debt more so than student loan debt, just completely annihilates you. You are spending so much more money on interest, and you are dragging down your credit score, which therefore in turn is hurting you on basically everything that you're going to do in life that involves your credit, which is basically anything financial. So there are credit cards out there that are charging, anywhere from about 17% all the way up to, I've seen as high as like 28%. They're charging you in interest on your balance. So if you're not paying off your credit card each and every month in full, you're doing yourself a complete disservice. So right now, if you're watching this video and you have credit card debt and you're paying the minimum, don't save don't invest in the stock market and don't invest in this and that. You need to take that investment money and you need to pay off your credit card bills and student loan debt as soon as possible. That should be the first and foremost, starting from square one, is taking all the extra money you're saving and putting that towards paying off your credit card debt and your student loan debt. Then, once you have those two things paid off, then it's time to think about, okay, well, hey, I didn't participate in lifestyle creep. I paid off my credit card bills. I paid off my student loans. And then now let's think about where I'm going to put my money to save and where I'm going to put my money to invest, in different assets. All right, guys, so these tips are definitely a great place to start when trying to build your financial future. They are by no means like the be-all, end-all tips to all of financial success. These are just some of the main tips that I personally live by and I personally think that are some of the most important basic tips to get you on the road to financial success. So if you guys have any questions on anything that I covered today, feel free to drop a comment below and I get back to everyone. If you guys found any of this information useful and helpful, please give this video a like, a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel, of course. It greatly helps me out and greatly helps out my channel. I really appreciate you guys watching this video today, and I really hope you took out some nuggets of information to help you guys in your financial future. So with that, I will see you guys in the next video.